And for more on all of this, we can speak to Behnam Taleblu, Senior Fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. Behnam, really good to have you in the studio. We have a few threads to bring together that we're looking at, these developments in the Middle East. And I want to start with what we saw in Iran, the bombing at the grave where there was a memorial being held for the former commander, Qasem Soleimani. First of all, do we have any idea who might have been behind this?
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you. We're here on the 4th anniversary of actually the killing of Soleimani, a man who was instrumental in implementing Iran's regional vision of the militarized export of the revolution, the creating or the co-opting of all these proxy and terror groups we see in the Middle East today. And there's a lot of people upset by that, particularly a lot of people upset by that as to how the Islamic Republic has been governed at home. There's a massive repression of ethnic and sectarian minorities across Iran, and some of those ethno-sectarian groups are armed and have in the past conducted in terrorist attacks on Iranian territory. More recent terror attacks on Iranian territory have been conducted by ISIS. In the past, Iran has responded to ISIS attacks on its territory with ballistic missile barrages. The regime also responds to perceived or real threats against Kurdish opposition groups. But there's also, if you look at Iran's eastern flank, there's the border with Afghanistan, very porous. And of course, in the southeast, Baluchistan, where the Baluch population is on both sides of the Iran-Pakistan border, has been home to the designated terrorist group Jondola/Jaish al-Adl. And they have conducted smaller scale, but still attacks nonetheless in the past.
Okay, so a number of possibilities there, you're saying. Right. I want to ask you about another development that we've been looking at, the strike that killed Hamas's deputy leader al-Ruri. And we were just hearing from our correspondent that that is still really reverberating across the region. And we saw Hezbollah saying this will not go unpunished, the U.S. saying it is worried about this escalating into a full-blown conflict. How likely do you think that is between Israel and Hezbollah?
I think it really depends. A response could come, as we saw in the segment, based on the mood on the ground in Ramallah and the West Bank, from an area or a jurisdiction least expected. You know, with the Islamic Republic, it's never a question of if they'll respond, it's more a question of when, where, and how. And they've created or co-opted all these different terror groups that they call the axis of resistance that are designed to force Israel to guess and fight with different forces on different fronts. So it could be something like a terror attack from the West Bank. It could be something like a new normal on the front with Lebanon. It could be the increased activation of the front with Syria, or it could be more of these long-range strike platforms. I think there's been at least 3 drone strikes, for example, the Israelis have shot down from Iraq into Israel as well.
All right, so the Israelis are certainly on high alert, as we heard. And I want to ask you also about the other element we were discussing, the surge in attacks by Houthi rebels in the Red Sea. We saw the U.S. saying this is an inflection point. Why do you think we're seeing this surge now? Are these attacks of opportunity by Houthi rebels?
So the Houthis are actually making good on a promise that's more than half a decade old. Their desire to enter the fight between Israel and a Palestinian group or Israel and Lebanese Hezbollah. And the Houthis actually possess the most sophisticated weapons, despite being the newest member of Iran's axis of resistance, the most sophisticated arsenal in this entire axis. First, after October 7th, they tried to launch medium-range ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones at Israel at the territory. They failed, so they shifted to lower-hanging fruit. And now you could see the Houthis implement Iran's maritime strategy, which we used to see in the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz, but now in the Red Sea and Bab el-Mandeb, harassing tankers and going after shipping and going after any kind of commercial vessels, spooking oil prices, spooking insurance premiums, trying to create an economic vector to put pressure on America, to put pressure on Israel, to bail out Hamas and to stop the war.
Taken together, all of these elements that we mentioned, are we seeing the Israel-Gaza war spilling over, spreading?
Well, Iran's strategy to get de-escalation, basically to throw a lifeline to its proxy in Gaza, which is Hamas, is to escalate, but to not directly escalate, but to begin to activate different fronts. You have every day a new normal between Lebanese Hezbollah and Israel. You have this kind of economic military war with Houthi targeting of shipping. But I would say the most important theater that the Islamic Republic is investing in is the Iraq-Syria border. There has been over 115 attacks in the past 2.5 months on U.S. positions there. Those come from militias. The U.S. has responded only a handful of times, 6 or 7, very limited, more in Syria than in Iraq. But nonetheless, this is where Iran is trying to use military means to accomplish a political goal. They're trying to get America to be attacked in a different theater, to realize it's being attacked because the war is going on, and to transfer that political pressure onto Israel to end the war.
Very volatile situation. All right, great to get your analysis, Behnam. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.